Well, speaking of decisions, as a partnership, how do you guys go about working through decisions, right? Are there scenarios where something comes to your desk and you guys are like, Lance, you're like, oh, I want to do that. And KG, you're like, nah, I don't want to do that.
That's a good
how do you guys
question.
work through, those
Yeah.
disagreements?
I'll
Yeah,
let Krista go first.
yeah. That I mean,
That's a question.
probably every day. Like
Yeah,
it's kind
every
of
day. Yeah.
like for like, but it's good though because sometimes it's funny because we'll call it. Sometimes I look at Lance and accidentally call him wine, you know,
Yeah.
and he'll look at me and accidentally call me money, and it's because like 100%. Like Lance will let me rock out with the budget, with the
Yeah.
fine. Does it make sense for the bottom line? Does it make sense for what we're doing? Because a lot of the time, like especially like maintaining two jobs, I don't have the time to kind of like transmit as much of detail as if I want. It's either works or it doesn't,
Yeah.
and because I'm thinking about no, we got this much due in taxes locally, federally, boom, 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 boom. What you're asking me right now, financial doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And then we can
Yeah.
talk about it later. Or whoever, not necessarily what he's asking, but you know what I mean? Like
Right,
what
right.
like the ask is like on the table, like doesn't work. Or anything comes up with like wine, how much we need to order, who we need to get wine from, what the labels are in rotation. Cool. He has all of that. Like,
Yeah.
like all of that stuff. And we align because it's kind of like, we have our quick like touch points, but it's kind of like on certain like partnership opportunities, certain other things that like external events that could help us kind of like grow in a way, or like new ideas. It's kind of like we're very much like, all right, can we do this now? Okay, yes. But if we can't do this now, this is a next year thing, or this is a
Yeah.
fall thing. We're quick to like place it and work together. So I think it I think it works out well now because we know where we know like our like we have like our like aligned like verticals, like if you will. So if he
Yeah.
says bringing these bottles in, there's so much we need. Okay, well that's what we need. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
something like, well, this is where we are with like our spending. This is what we need to do. Okay, cool. That's what we're doing. Like it's kind of like I feel like we don't step on toes with kind of like what our like
Yeah.
roles are as like the two owners, and also with like our marketing person. Marketing. I do not.
Yeah. Do
So
that.
it's kind of like I
Yeah.
just set ideas, and when you want them to drop and when you want them to land, like this is great. Or I might say like, oh, actually, this might make sense like this week. Go for it. But it's kind of like when you let people play to their strengths, I think working in a group environment or working one to one becomes a lot easier because and we're constantly on the go. You don't have time to dispel everything or talk about everything. And like he's known me long enough where like he doesn't take me personally.
Yeah.
I'm not made for. I'm not meant to go into business with everybody. I'm like the person in a
Yeah.
house by herself. You know what I mean? I can
Yeah.
say that. I know that about myself. But like, it's one of those things where like, you can call blah 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 5 minutes. No, that's not gonna work. All right, I'm talking to you. I gotta talk to you later.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, it's very I don't know. I think it's good, and like partnership stuff we tackle, interview stuff like we tackle, or it's like constantly like, do you got this or you got that? Cool, done, bye. Not worried about it.
Yeah. Staying in your lane, but is like huge, man. It's huge. Like KG knows where she knows where she's at. I know where I'm at, and like for real, I don't even want to cross that line. Like the thought of me going over on that side, I'm like, no, I'm good. You know what I mean? And
I'm like,
yeah, it's just like, no, I'm good. I don't want to go over there.
yeah,
It's important to choose who you, well, not choose who you work with, but just relate to who you work with on a business level. It's fun to be like, you know what, let's start a business. And I just met you yesterday, not saying that like this is a destiny thing, but I mean, we talked, I mean, Kristen, we not saying that we don't have our hiccups. Everybody has their hiccups, but at the end of the day, we both know that when it comes to their field of expertise, I'm going to listen to you on what you have to say. And there's also, we do a great job of compromising and just saying, you know what, like, this is what I believe in. This is what I think we should be doing, X, Y, and Z. And, if it doesn't work, or if it's not believed in, like we discuss it. There has to be, we have an open communication. It's important. You have to communicate, and it's okay to disagree. Like it's okay to do that. It's just like, but at the end of the day, what's better for Rich Wine, right? What's the best for the business? And that's where I think we excel at. And Kristen brought up Peyton, our marketing person. Like we don't do marketing. Peyton does that. We keep her in her lane. She steps out of it sometimes, and some of those times it's great. Like we're like, yes, I'd rather you give me more than me have to take more out of you, right? Like give me more so I can hone you back in. And that's one thing that me and Kristen do to each other all the time. We're always like, does that sound stupid? Or does that make sense? Like it's because we have these ideas, we have these thoughts, and then I think it's just a matter of just fine tuning them right for your business. And that's a group of people. That's how businesses work. That's why it's called a business, right? Yeah. Like it's run by multiple people that can bring strengths to the core and the heart of that business. So
yeah, and that's one thing I think that's really great is like we're in group chat. We're probably too connected, if you will.
Yeah, right. Sometimes we're right.
I'm like, oh, it's 1 a.m. and I just had this great idea, and I'm like, but it's one of those things where I think that playing devil as advocate is key too, because we'll put something out there. I mean, it could be the bomb idea, but they're like, okay, so what about this? And so I think that like having a group of people that we're like, before we take a next step, it's going to be centered. We're going to consider what we know to be true or what could potentially be true before we make an actual business brand reputational decision about it. Like that's what Mondays are for. That's what our texts are for.
Yeah.
And granted, and we said like, even though we have like our 3 lanes, we're constantly kind of like,
switching over.
Yeah,
put that clicker on.
It's kind of it's like consensus driven, if you will. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna. I mean, it's just it's consensus driven. Like I'm not making it basically a solid decision on just a single like thing. Aside from, we need to pay a tax. All right, we're about to go pay a tax. Like stuff like that. That makes sense. Like the ideating, the partnership, the brand stuff. Like we talk about all of that. And making sure we're going in the right social direction of the business. And I think that's important. And it's important to have like, a group of people who are also going to challenge your ideas just to make sure like, does this really make sense? Is this going to cost us what? What is it going to cost you later? And being able to have those conversations, have them being metered, we have an agenda, like it's just as much of our friends. We could literally get in a room all day and waste time. Like, we could do that. We have done that and we're okay with it. But when it comes time to like our marketing meetings, like, we get there and we meet and we knock stuff out. We need to have our takeaways and we hold each other accountable. And it's like, it's great. It works. You really have to make sure you have that business element with the folks that you're going into business with, and also like the trust. Like if we say we're going to get something done, we're going to get it done. Like we take it away, we get it done. Or if we didn't get it done, I did not do that. So it's kind of like, this is where
I've gotten in trouble with that, boy, because sometimes you just got, just didn't do it, like I messed up, like.